Hi and welcome. My name's Kerry Ann, and I talk about all sorts of random shabunkins, whatever comes into me noggin at the time. To be fair, whatever it all tells me to talk about. Something I've been thinking of the past couple of days is the way that the world is changing. And so I thought I'd have a little rant about that. If you like what I do, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, all of that fandango. Keeping in touch, like reach out, let's make mates, because somewhere in here I'm going to point out that shit's got a bit stupid, so we need to be not in cahoots. Got to be really careful. I'm really careful what I say these days because the world is changing. So I've been thinking about, like the way that, the world has changed. And I've got a couple of things that have come to mind. If you can think of anything else, please feel free, leave it in the comments below. Let's talk about this because, I can't be the only person noticing this. It's got silly, right? Obviously, at the minute, because of certain circumstances, we've got an increase in policing powers, ways of policing us. So yesterday I was in town. I ramble. Disclaimers, these are my thoughts and opinions. I speak on behalf of nobody else, and it's just opinions. I'm not the facts person, and also I am inclined to swear because I get passionate about what I'm saying, and my channel's not monetized purposefully so that you don't have adverts, but also then I don't get taken down for swearing because apparently YouTube do that. I think, I follow people who say, can't say that because YouTube will have me demonetized, and it's like, well, why? They're words. But we're going to get into that bit in a bit. So I was in town yesterday, got my nails did. Thank you to the person who said you need to rethink your manicure, love, on one of my old Tommy Robinson videos. I'd got it set. It's my birthday next week, so I've got fancy bits on. Got little gold stripes around the tips, ready for my birthday. And on that birthday, I'm going to be 53. Just in case you wanted to know, I'm not one of these people who wants to grow old, like, fakely and whatever, like, pump shit in. I ain't Madonna. That's just tragic, in my personal opinion. Obviously, used to bloody love the woman when I was little. When I was a teenager, used to dress up as her and everything. I have photographs somewhere in the attic. I think it was tragic. What can you do? I was obsessed. Oh, how times have changed. Yeah, point of the video, right? That was in the pound shop yesterday, and I bought 2 items: a bottle of shampoo and a packet of ice gems. Neither of those items were £1, and in total they came to £3.75p from the pound shop. Now, that I don't know whether you remember, but when the pound shop first came out, the whole thing about the pound shop was everything was £1. It's £1. How much is this? And people, I've done it myself, gone round, it's like, how much is this, babe? It's £1. It's like, what about this? It's the pound shop. Everything is £1. That doesn't exist anymore. Maybe it does. Maybe there are little establishments somewhere where everything costs £1. Should imagine it's not very good stuff. Spitballing. Might be wrong. Please, again, in the comments, let me know if I'm wrong. But £3.75 for 2 things from the pound shop. Don't add up. And this is a change that has happened, that I have witnessed in my lifetime. Now, more recently, like within the past 4 years, please don't judge. I know I'm wrong, and it does nothing for my health, and it does nothing for my weight. But I like to have a bar of Cadbury's salted caramel chocolate by bed. I'm cutting down on my drinking. Used to be a sod for me drinking. If you watch my videos, you'll know that. And I'd still got it there when I was drinking, but I go to bed earlier now and watch a bit of Netflix on my phone, and I do like a chunk of chocolate. And this chocolate used to cost £1. on special offer, right? I don't know how much it was full price, £1.50 tops. Nah, it weren't that much. Anyways, £1.95 now. His bar of chocolate is almost doubled in price in 4 years. The money that I've got coming in hasn't doubled in price in 4 years. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, the gas and lecky thing proves quite neatly that it's not about... It's about profit. And at the minute, there's a thing, you can't have steady profits. You can't get by if you're in big business. It has to be record profits. Every year, you have to have record profits. You have to beat the year that you had before in profits. Why is this? It's a rhetorical question. We all fucking know. Greed, corporate greed, just greed in general. Because the people who run our world, the people who educate us from the age of 4 to see that the way that the world is run is the only way that the world could possibly be run, because education comes from there. They decide what we're educated in. And literally, we just sit there our whole lives and do nothing. And that's what we're doing right now. And that's what we've continued to do. So we live in a world where where little old ladies have to choose between heating or eating. Young families have to choose between heating or eating. Food banks, fucking everywhere. It wasn't such a thing when I was a kid. The world nowadays is unrecognisable from what I lived through as a kid. Do you know what I mean? And we're nastier for it. You know, we don't speak to each other so much. That's another change. People are scared to interact. We all have that little phone in our hand. And if you look around, you know, on buses or anything, everybody's glued to their own little personal window to the world, when literally they've got two right there that are just plugging into technology, which again is all this is agendas. I'm sorry, but these people conspire. Anyways, right. Another thing that's changing at the minute. Now, I saw a news article yesterday that now the NHS is going to have to ask all people having an X-ray between the ages of 12 and 15. Correct me if I'm wrong, I just saw that one place. Whether they could be pregnant. Both genders. Boys and girls. They are being asked. Like, and this, you know, that the NHS, it's like, the people in the NHS think it's fucking bonkers, I should imagine, because it's fucking bonkers. The people on TV that said it, I think it was GB News. Is that on telly or is that a computer thing? I'm not sure. I don't watch news. It's a bit too depressing for me. But yeah, they're like, this dude's sitting there like this. It's like, what the actual fuck is happening here? Birthing parents, chest feeding. Because there are a few people in the world who identify as the other gender. Normal people, is that what cisgender is? You know, your original gender. I'm just me. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I like to be quite manly. And I've done this in a video before. When I was a teenager, I used to dress up in boys' clothes all the time. I always used to say, for donkey's years, for decades, I'd say I was born a gay man in a woman's body, right? If I'd have gone through that childhood now, I'd have had me flap sewn up. Because agendas. Because these people get together and conspire. It's not a theory, it's fact. They do that. Bilderberg meetings, fucking Bohemian Grove, Davos, like these people, the high up people who work for the bankers, who work for the ultimate guys, their job is, can sit together and they conspire how they can fuck us over to get more record profits for themselves. Just facts. In my personal opinion, obviously, don't take my channel down. But yeah, it's, like, the words don't mean the same that words used to mean. Do you know what I mean? We're now looking at them putting people on buses to go round and check you've got the right ticket. I haven't had a bus ticket in... Do you know what I mean? I'm so sorry. I am so against a cashless society, but I just whab my card on the reader and get in. How are they going to check that? I don't have a ticket for you to check. But you're paying taxpayers' money to check whether I have that. How are they going to police that? Policing. Do you know what I mean? And to get on to the actual bugbear, the thought police. Now, just the world has changed in the past fortnight. Now, a lot of my videos, recent videos, were about the rioting. And a kind soul commented, and I'm really grateful for that, and said, look, I'd take it down a notch if I were you, because literally from what we hear in the States, it's really bad over there. And, there are, off the back of these riots, arrests being made. And I didn't read it, and I'm really, really cheesed off that I didn't take the time to read it. It said that a 48 woman had been arrested for having an opinion online. Thought police. That's where we've got to. Thought police. Now, people were being arrested for the rioting and whatever, and it's like, yeah, we're going to arrest you all. And again, is this what the mega prisons were all about? You know what I mean? Because I don't believe that the rioting was just a load of people coming together, and because literally we've sat there for 4 years at least. Obviously the world changed 9/11, but for the last 4 years, since 2020, we've sat there and watched the world get absolutely ridiculous and done bloody nothing about it. And yet all of a sudden 3 girls get stabbed and the whole of England's in fucking uproar. Riddle me that. It makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? But I'm really grateful. I'm grateful to everybody who comments on my videos, because we need to be discussing this. Personal favourite. I think it was a lady. I'm not sure. I don't really pay attention to who's saying what and whatever, because usernames are not a lot to go by. But somebody commented, I did a video called Thank You, Tommy Robinson. Now, the whole purpose of that video was to thank Tommy Robinson for his part, or alleged part, in this right-wing uprising, right? Because it got me 80 new subscribers in a week. Now, this, with such a small channel, is monumental for me. I've only got 853, I think. No, 833 subscribers. And a week ago, I had 752. So literally, I got 80 subscribers in a week. And with those numbers, I was bloody grateful to Tommy Robinson. Don't stand by his side at all. Do you know what I mean? But because the video was titled Thank You, Tommy Robinson, somebody commented on it, took the time, didn't take the time out of the day to watch it, right? Because other people were like, well, you've not watched it. And they said, like, well, I don't need to, but somebody else might. It's like, well, but they said, I'm going to report you to the police for incitement. So I commented on it and said, you know that the police are going to have to watch and verify that, right? Because I'm not inciting anything. What do you think? Just saying thank you, Tommy Robinson, is incitement to riot? Like, we're not even trying. We're not even trying to elevate the consciousness. Do you know what I mean? We're just not even. We sit there and we take everything, and then 3 girls get stabbed, and all of a sudden, uproar. And then it's like, no, actually, we're going to arrest you if you do that. Well, we'll stop it then. Actually, there were people coming out and protesting for the opposite side, for peace. Well, not for peace, just saying, like, allow the immigrants in. Fuck all about English people. We're just rowing, both sides rowing about immigration. This is our country, whether you're an immigrant or you were born here. This is the country that you live in, and nobody is doing a damn thing about the boot on the neck. Now, I ain't inciting anything. I do not want, and I've said this forever, riots, protests don't work. We need to speak to each other logically in an adult fashion and discuss this like adults. And the 3 videos that I did last week prove that it doesn't look like we can do that. There were some amazing people. I got some lovely responses, and thank you to all of those. But there were people who just threw insults with no backing, nothing to come to the conversation with. They brought nothing to the table but insults, and that gets us nowhere. Moaning about stuff gets us nowhere. You know, we need to be sitting down and discussing. It shouldn't be, I'm telling you what to do. That's the way that they have bred us to behave from the age of 4. Sit down, shut up, sit in a row, and wait to be told how to behave. And that is the patriarchy's way of doing things. But when the matriarchy comes in, and half the patriarchy will be in the matriarchy anyway, they'll just be doing that just because that's what brings them their dollar. And they don't realise that shouldn't be. That's not the currency that actually gets you anywhere in the spiritual realm, in the universal energy that we are all a part of. The way that we're behaving is fucking us all over. We're just bringing down the vibrations, and they know this because they were left with the secrets of the universe, and they decided to keep them for themselves and share them only with the initiated, and keep the door shut, wholly shut to the profane. And they got it wrong. And the boss is coming back to kick their ass. But that's just a little side note. They know that. They know that. That's why they want a stum. So yeah, if you can think of anything that has changed from when you were a kid, something that's not for the better. If you could think of something that's changed for the better, please just share it with me. But please remember that I am on our side. Whatever I say, whoever, like whether I talk about Tommy Robinson, Hugh Edwards, Gary Lineker, I just lump those two in it, Philip Schofield, whoever I talk about, then none of them my enemy. And I wish my enemy no harm either. I just want them to let up. I am not inciting hatred. I'm inciting peace. And only when we realise that we're doing this wrong, we are acting out their script. That whole riot fandango was their script. Everything is. It's all a facade. When I went up to town yesterday, I'm so sorry. Issue knows, always happens. Thank you. Went to town yesterday, and outside the front of the Leicester Royal Infirmary, there's a huge sign: Leicester Hospitals Trust. Your gift helps people, or whatever. It's like the hospitals, the NHS, the National Health Service needs donations. It used to be our crowning glory. It used to be the envy of Europe, the National Health Service. Do you know what I mean? And now they're taking donations to run when Interserve, who are owned by Serco, charge £85 to change a light bulb. So you give your money to charity and you're funding a CEO with a £200,000 yearly wage. You're funding the bubbly at the Christmas party. You're funding the people on the streets going out getting funding. you're funding all the paperwork, and now you've got to actually, it's taxpayers' money that runs the NHS, right? So you've got to pay your taxes to pay for the NHS, and then you've got to donate to the NHS because the NHS doesn't have enough money, and the NHS is paying Interserve £85 to change a bloody light bulb. We've got it so wrong. It's arse about face. And just, looting Greggs is not the way forward. It's just going to get us nowhere. We need rational adult conversation. So please, let's converse on an adult basis and be rational with each other. Speak with logic, not malice. It's not all of this, you, me, I hate you because you're brown. I hate you because you smoke. I hate you because you're gay. I hate you because you're old. All of this business comes from up there. They sit there. They close their big oak doors. They sit there in their leather wingback chairs, smoking a fat Cuban and sipping their gin and Dubonnet, laughing at us. And the way that we've been behaving lately, I can see why. And so please stop me in bar one. Let's discuss this. If you've watched till the end, thank you so much. I owe you a bevy. And if you're not subscribed, please consider it. If you are subscribed, you have my unending gratitude. Each and every one of you is so important to me. Please, let's get in touch. Elsewise, I live my life on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, don't just add me. Send me a message as well, because I just get rid of people that aren't, that I don't know, a lot of them. So all of that, thank you very much for being here. See you on the next one. And never forget that I love you all. Bye.